Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's almost it's almost a new year, and the weather's been different this year, and I have to tell you about a day I got to go fishing because it's been a couple months since I've been able to do that. We had a little bit of a warming trend. I knew that certain areas along the St. Lawrence River would not be frozen along the shoreline that normally would be. So I had a chance to go to my favorite places to fish along the shore and try to catch a northern pike. Well, let me tell you what my day was like. The first place I went was, it's a spot that I've done a lot of videos over the years where I know the walleyes come into this area. And you can reach them from the causeway just as you leave Waddington going towards Messina. And they're always there in the winter, or at least they always have been. But it was different this year, and that's what I wanted to tell you. There's a lot of extremely dangerous broken rock along that shoreline that they put in there once they did the project to allow the tubes that go under the road to be able to allow the northern pike a better chance of spawning. That's what this whole thing was about. But what it has done is it's made that area that has always been one of my favorite areas pretty much unfishable for me along the shoreline for a couple of reasons. First of all, those broken rocks that they've put in there, and they put them there for a reason, but they're not there to help people wade or walk along that shoreline because they are huge, all different shapes, and if you get any kind of precipitation on those rocks, they can become slippery. You fall, and I don't care if you're 15 years old, you still risk huge bodily injury by falling on those broken rocks. Second thing is, because of the construction that they did under the water to reconstruct what that system has always been in allowing the water to flow under the road and into the pond, there's tubes lying out there, there's pipes and so forth, and you're just going to snag into those all the time. It makes it unfishable unless you were out there in a boat and you could avoid those pipes. Okay, so I spent an hour, never got a strike, never saw a fish. I went down to another spot where it's completely different. The only problem is it's along a beach, and the water was so shallow along that beach, and it's frigid cold. And the only thing I had with me is my Frog Tog hip boots, which are so light and so thin that I thought, okay, if I go out in that water at all, I'm going to freeze within a minute. So I didn't. And I cast and nothing. Finally thought, okay, I got to bite the bullet here. I've got to put those hip boots on and at least wade out 30 or 40 feet so that I can cast out where I think those fish might be. So I did that, and I fished an hour. And two things came of that. Number one, I got a strike, and I caught a northern pike. It was about 24 inches. It was a beautiful fish, and it only had one little bit of the hook in the tip of its mouth. So as much as I was fishing to get a winter northern pike meal, because this is when the fish are going to taste the best, their flesh is firmer and so forth, I couldn't bear to just kill that fish if it was going to live, and the hook wasn't even hardly inside it. I mean, it was just in the tip of its mouth. Shows how reluctant it was to strike. But the other thing that came of that fish that really, it's something I hadn't seen before, is that fish had black spots on it, but not the grubs that I talk about, the little parasites that are little like black flecks that you see all over the fish sometimes. These were almost the size of a dime, and there were probably 20 or 30 of them on this fish's body. They were shiny. I'd never seen anything like it. It looked almost like the spots you would see on a tiger muskie, but this wasn't. So I don't have anything else to tell you other than, boy, you never know what you're going to see. The fish was totally healthy. It at least had the courage to strike when all its brethren and all its family were sitting back waiting for warmer days. So it deserved to live. The other thing I wanted to tell you, and this is really important to me, is that I got one strike. and people said to me, "Did you have a great time fishing?" Or "How was the fishing?" And what am I supposed to say? If you want to know the truth, it was wonderful. It didn't matter. At least I got a strike. And for those 2 hours, I was immersed again into a special heaven on earth that I only find when I'm out on the water fishing. Doesn't matter if I catch a fish, apparently, because now I got to wait a while. But I know that the next time that water opens, I've got some wonderful experiences in store for me. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.